Seven Colors is a strategic turn-based puzzle game released by Infogrames in 1991. Of the four graphic artists, two should be familiar by now: Didier Chanfray and Yael Barros. This was the first game Barros worked on at Infogrames. One thing to note, there are the obvious 1 and 2 player options, but the game also has LAN support. Sort of like Game Boy Tetris's support for the Game Link cable. You know, Tetris. The game itself is simple, but hard to explain. The playfield is composed of randomly colored blocks. Each player starts by controlling one block in opposite corners of the field. The players alternate by selecting one of 7 colors. If any of the blocks adjoining the field you control match the color you chose, you absorb those blocks into your territory. The first player to control 50% or more of the field wins. There are 2 additional rules. You can't select the current color of your opponent, so stealing territory isn't possible. And if you manage to surround territory, you claim that territory regardless of its color. I am absolutely terrible at games like this, but I have to give it credit, it is addictive. I don't feel qualified to give advice, since in the rare times I win it's usually due to random luck, but I can see a couple of possible strategies. 1. You can try to make a line from the bottom of the field to the top, which will let you quickly claim all the territory on your side. And 2. You can ignore your territory and instead focus on your opponent's. Since neither player can choose the other's color, you can prevent your opponent from making favorable claims by preemptively changing yourself to that color. This strategy seems to be the more effective one, actually. The music is mostly Bach. It has a soundtrack reminiscent of another, much more popular block-based puzzle game. And that's enough beating around the bush. Story time! Tetris became an overnight sensation when it was released on the NES and came bundled with the Game Boy in 1989. In the following years, game developers scrambled to cash in on its success, both through Tetris clones and in trying to find the next smash hit puzzle game. Infogrames was still a rather small and not well-known company in the 1980s, but already they were drawing some attention for their licensed games, notably those based on comics like Tintin, and they were eager to advance and become an internationally recognized brand. In 1991, Infogrames went to the source, Russia, hoping that lightning would strike twice and they'd return with the new Tetris. At Gamos, a Moscow-based video game developer, they found a game created by Dmitry Pashkov called Filler. They acquired a license for remaking and releasing it in the Western world for the PC and Amiga. And that's the game we're playing now. Seven Colors is what they called it. Reviews were mixed. Generally favorable in the French-speaking world, and generally less so in the English and German. But in the end, Seven Colors was not the next Tetris, and did not win Infogrames' worldwide acclaim. That would not come until the following year, with a game called Alone in the Dark.